Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church, and what an amazing show last night with Russell Targ and remote viewing. Absolutely incredible. And continuing the week tonight, Michael Orrell is with us. He took some shots back in the early 90s of some UFOs, and he went on a journey, wrote a book, and looking at ancient artifacts and sites around the world and how they relate to his photography. We're going to be talking about all of that tonight. Tomorrow night, Emily Harrison is back with us, the Akashic Records. And then Thursday night, Ron James is here, director, television host, and he's got four breaking new UFO cases we are going to be talking about Thursday night. And there you go. Now, I do have, and I'm always talking about this because it's so cool and so important. I have 4 major events left in the second half of 2024. First up is the Conscious Awards in Miami, Florida, August 3rd and 4th. Then there's the Contact at Sea Cruise to Alaska, September 6th through the 13th. There's Egypt in October 3rd through the 14th, and then Peru and Bolivia with Brian Forrester, and that's November 15th through the 27th. Now, everything is selling out, so you've got to get your tickets and information, or if it's sold out, get on the waiting list in case there's a cancellation. The link for everything is below. All right. I was just in, I'm going to get to the breaking news because there's a lot of it going down right now today. But I was looking at the chat and talking about the heat, and I was watching everybody's comments there. And Renee asked me about the Harley, and it's hot. And it's hot. And when you are out, there's certain things when you ride, you want to be protected. So you're wearing stuff that, pads and things that protect your body. But when it's 100 degrees, and even with a mesh jacket like I have, which is completely breathable, but still gives all that protection with pads, it's too hot in the sun to wear. It's just too hot. You stop at a stoplight, full face helmet, and you roast. And so that's it. Changes had to be, that's it. So yeah, it's a T-shirt and a half helmet. I've shelved and just trying to in a full face helmet, and it's 105 degrees. You're breathing in your old, dank, steamy breath, and it's just the gnarliest thing. And so that's it. I've had to make all of those changes. I've got a new video I'm putting together with the bike. I'm nearly done with it. It's been a heck of a project, and I'm going to put that video together for everybody. And I've got another video really quick that I'm in the middle of production of on the perfect studio. So what is it that I use here? Why do I have it? How is it wired in? What is the company? Why do I do it? And that includes everything. I am going from left to right and including everything in the studio because there are so many people that want to get started. They don't know what to do. And this studio is perfect. Okay. It's perfect. So I'm working on that too as well. That's going to come out here pretty soon. Okay, let's get to all of the breaking news. On this day in history in 2009, Michael Jackson, one of the most influential people in history, dies at the age of 50 at his home in Los Angeles, California, after suffering from cardiac arrest caused by drugs given to him by his personal doctor. Wow. On this day in 2009. Here's your fader fact. I didn't know this. There's only one letter that doesn't appear in any U.S. state name. Now think about it. You got it? You think you know it? No, you don't. There is a Z in Arizona, one. There's a J in New Jersey. And there's even 2 X's, New Mexico and Texas. But there's not a single Q. And that is your Fader fact. All right, let's get to the breaking news. This breaking news started last night. I got the text from Renee. She's on top of her game as the news started to break. And here are all of the updates. That is because WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange has been released from prison in the UK and will be allowed to return to his home country of Australia after he pleads guilty to illegally disseminating national security material in the United States. Court documents filed yesterday by the U.S. federal government in the Northern Mariana Islands suggest the plea deal is imminent, although everything still needs to be approved by a judge. Yesterday, he was granted bail by the High Court in London and was released at Stansted Airport during the afternoon, where he boarded a plane and departed the United Kingdom. Assange chose the Northern Mariana Islands, a U.S. Commonwealth in the Pacific, because of his opposition to traveling to the continental U.S., which we all understand, and the court's proximity to Australia. Now, his court hearing is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday. Wow. That is serious breaking news. More breaking news. Incredible. China brought a capsule full of lunar soil from the far side of the moon down to Earth earlier today, achieving the latest success in an ambitious schedule to explore the moon and other parts of the solar system. The sample, retrieved by the China National Space Administration's Chang'e 6 lander after a 53-day mission, highlights China's growing capabilities in space and notches another win in a series of lunar missions that started in 2007 and have so far been executed almost without flaw. Incredible. Well, the mirror monolith found jutting out of the rocks in a remote mountain range near Las Vegas has been taken down by authorities. How it got there or who is responsible is still unsolved. Its discovery over the previous weekend and a quick removal because of public safety and environmental concerns revived a mystery that captured my attention when shiny monoliths evoking Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey began to appear around the globe. It's been taken down. Do you take it apart? Do you look for something on the inside? Do you look for a signature? Do you try to find out? Do you sleuth this thing? Yeah, I want to know who's doing it. All right. An astronaut captured an elusive glimpse of red lightning from space. Astronaut Matthew Dominic imaged the rare red sprite phenomenon from the International Space Station earlier this year, which may build on earlier studies of the lightning type on the orbiting complex. They're called red sprites, also known as, of course, red lightning. They occur during some extremely intense thunderstorms. Most lightning flashes move down from the clouds to the ground. A sprite goes in the opposite direction. It goes up, and it's red, up into the atmosphere. These sprites are very brief, lasting only for about a millisecond. Well, it makes everything very difficult to observe, even with professional equipment and from orbit. That said, they can be very large, sometimes spanning as large as 30 miles. Absolutely incredible. You should see the images. All right. And finally, I'll leave you with this. Do you remember when I told you last week about the cybersecurity breach of CDK Global? You remember that? CDK Global is the software that is used by over 15,000 car dealerships in the United States and Canada. Well, their systems are still offline, and the financial impact it will directly have will take months to correct, if not years. CDK says it's working on restoring its systems and expects them to be back online in several days, which is what they have said many times over the last week. They'll eventually be up and running again, but the question is when. Now, even if you, as a customer, manage to buy a new car involving pen and paper, totally analog, you won't be able to drive it because CDK software also registers your vehicle with your local state DMV. Well, used to register it, I should say, because now dealers can't, leaving it up to the customer to register their new vehicle. Now, most local DMVs are so overwhelmed with walk-ins, they are turning people away. In most states, you have to register your new car within 7 days of purchase. And without walk-ins, making an appointment online is outside of that 7-day limit, for which you get a fine. It's the same thing with dealer service departments, which also use CDK software. There are no appointments being scheduled, and walk-ins, drive-ins, are all suspended until further notice. Now, that's really bad news if your car's air conditioning goes out during this heat wave. Think about that. But what does all of this have to do with Fade to Black? That's a great question. This is an example of entropy playing out just as I had predicted years ago. Just go back and listen to any one of the warnings that I gave you and think about it, because buying or servicing a car used to be a pencil and paper thing. It was simple. Now it's so complicated, and when one thing goes wrong, the entire system just collapses. And that's entropy. It's the second law of how things end. Seriously. There you go. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Neumann. I'm Jimmy Church. I want to remind everybody tonight, Michael Orrell is with us. We're going to be talking about his UFO pictures, his books, and their connections to ancient sites and artifacts. All of that and much more tonight on Fade to Black. But for now, all I've got is Go Backley Tappy.